Hey beauty lovers and others, welcome back to Contour and Candor. Today we're just going to do a fresh face of makeup, and I am going to keep it brief. I know I say that all the time, but this time I'm really going to try. So before I got on, I did some foundation. I once again used the House Labs that I can never remember the name of, the Triclone Skin. Love this stuff. And I used a little bit of my Ola Hendrickson in the lightest shade Guava. Oh, hello. Sorry about that. I'm facing this way because I think the light is better. And what else did I use? Oh, I used a little bit of my Natasha Denona concealer. And there you go. That's the face so far. All right, we're going to put on some of the Halo Glow from e.l.f. and talk about something I read yesterday. And it's just the strangest thing if you really think about it. So I read somewhere online that Wales, the country of Wales, if you aren't aware, Wales is its own country within the United Kingdom. And although they are British citizens, they have their own identity as Welsh people, and they have their own, they're part of, it's complicated, but yes, they have their own politicians as well. So here's the thing, that the Welsh passed some kind of vote, citizen vote, I believe it was. I really should have done my homework before I got on here. This is not like me. I tend to know what I'm talking about, but it was very interesting to me. So they passed something, the citizens passed something that said referendum, that's the word I was looking for, that made it illegal for elected officials to lie. And that if elected officials are found out to have lied, they will lose their position. And my first thought was, good for Wales, good for the Welsh. But then my second thought was, how sad that we would have to, or they would have to, pass something to require or encourage their politicians not to lie to them. It's kind of ridiculous. Yeah. Oh, I should address, I colored my hair again. It's still a little purpley, but that will calm down. At least it's all one color. And sorry, that's why my hair is wet again, 2 days in a row. Coloring the hair. I like to color my hair during the day so that I'm not sleeping on wet hair, and I almost never blow dry my hair. So the last thing I want to do before I go to bed is stand there with a blow dryer. So day hair, wet hair. We'll all survive it. Gosh, that purple though, oh, it better fade. Okay, so yeah, but this is where the world is today, that we have to basically, excuse me, I should have had this out already. I don't. Crud cakes. Here it is. We're just going to throw on some of the Clinique blush today. How sad is it that we have to threaten our politicians in order to get them to do what is the right thing to do? Tell the truth. But that's where we are in the world, and certainly not just in Wales. We have a big lying problem. And you know what's been so interesting to watch? Again, lifelong Republican, who has absolutely no respect for the current president, other than the office of the presidency. So what's so bizarre to me in watching over the past, well, his first term and now this term, but particularly this term, even more so, is if you lie and you lie with enough confidence and you repeat it frequently enough, it's amazing how many people just will never question it. Even if it first seems completely illogical, if you sell it hard enough, you are going to get a percentage of the people who hear that lie to believe it. And that is where we are as a country. And I am not in any way saying that the president is the only one who's guilty. And I'm not saying that previous presidents were not also guilty. He has a boldness about his fabrications that I think is unmatched. I've certainly never seen anybody be as seemingly convinced of his own creativity, of his own creative stories as this president. Now again, other presidents have lied to us frequently, repeatedly. But there's no pretense in trying to have any kind of respectful demeanor, and people say, well, he's telling it like it is. And I would just say to that, you can tell the truth, assuming you were, without being hateful, without ad hominem attacks on people. You can do that. You can just, you can disagree with a policy. You can disagree with a platform. You can disagree with a law, with a proposed law, a bill. You can disagree with a lot of things, position, but you do not have to hate the individual who holds that position, that philosophy, that whatever. You don't have to hate them. You do not have to disparage their character. It's crazy that this is the leader of our country. And I am not saying that everything he says is a lie. Certainly not. I'm not saying every policy that he's put forward is something I disagree with. There are plenty of policies that I do agree with. But I have never heard him speak in a way that I have been proud to say, yes, that's my president. Never. And I hate the example of the way that he speaks, the way that he disparages women, disabled people, fat people, just anybody who disagrees with him. And I'm ashamed that that's the example that that children in America have. It's pretty hard when you, and I know he's not the first president we can say this of. Believe me, I know. I hear you, Julie, my cousin, if she ever watches this. That is certainly, he's not the first person to hold that office who has issued bald-faced lies to the American people. But there is a certain delight in it, in lying to us, in the boldness of it, in the disrespect, that I think of my grandkids, my great-grandkids, my nieces and nephews, grandnieces and nephews, and I hate that they see the example of somebody who operates that way, ascending to the nation's highest office. I hate that. I know that people who treat other people with kindness don't always flourish on the earth. You know, you can do the right thing and be knocked down, but that does not mean that we don't keep trying. That we can treat each other with respect. And I have been guilty, I'm sure, on many occasions of disparaging people without knowing their whole story. You know, make snap judgments. But there's an old saying, when people show you who they are, believe them. And I think you kind of have to twist yourself into knots to believe anything other than this president is not a man of good character. And that is the debate. Does character count when it comes to if you're good at your job, which is a judgment call. If you know, if you're the CEO of a company and you make them a lot of money, which is certainly not happening in America, but yeah, if you're the CEO and you make them a lot of money, does it matter how you did it? Well, yeah, it should. It should. If you're a stockholder of that company, you should care how that money was made. You should care about the people who made your product, if they had a fair wage and a safe work environment. You should care about that. That people didn't renege on their word to their employees or to a partner company, a manufacturer, supplier. You should care that the money that you are earning from that company as an investor, you have a responsibility in how business is done there to the degree that you are able to influence it. So that's my little 2 cents. And that isn't Democrat, that isn't Republican, that's just doing the right thing. And we all, excuse me, let me just actually, we'll just do this. Here we go. See better? So this is a Natasha Denona palette. I have 2 Natasha Denona palettes, and I like them, but I find I don't use them very often, so they're way too expensive. I've had these for a while now. This is the I Need a Nude from Natasha Denona, and here we go. Oh, and one of them just popped right out onto the beige carpet. Nice. Zut alors. Here we go. Yeah, I'll be cleaning that up for a while. So it's a very nice palette. I'm going to throw that little guy out because that's just going to create a total mess, and it's pretty. Not worth the money. Get the smaller palettes if they still are going to make them. I hope they are, because the quads they came out with I'm not thrilled with. But this is the mini palette, five pan. This particular one is the Dream palette. And then I have a couple of these, but the Nude palette's really good too. This one is the Mini Eye Sculpt palette. This is the Starlet palette, Mini Starlet. So there are a couple of them there that are really, really good. And then where's the one I use all the time? Oh, here's another one. I think the I Need a Nude, Dream palette is the one I use the most. This one is, this is the Mini Starlet. I don't know what the other one was. Anyway, there you go, in case you're here for makeup. All right, so let's finish off this look. Enough of my soapbox. Do the right thing, people. Do the right thing. And I say it to myself as well. Do the right thing. Okay, so did I go under enough? Maybe a little more. Okay, that is the wrong pencil. This is... Okay, so I'm taking the shade Mesh underneath my eye, and I'll risk it again. Actually, you know what? I think, so here's Mesh, this guy right here under the pink, and then here is the other kind of neutral called, Stone. It had something that made it look like Story. All right, so just a little bit more of that under here of the Stone. Okay. Ooh, blend. blend. All right, so that is that. I am actually going to just take some of that stone and go on top of this because I didn't do the best liner today. So we'll just smoke it out a little bit. Yeah, it fixes a multitude of errors. All right, so then I'm going to take this shade right here. It's called Whisper. And the thing about Natasha Denona, I will say, is she has, I think you would call them shimmer shades. Not glitter shades and not toppers, because she has those as well. But she has these shimmer shades that are unlike any I've ever used. They are so smooth, and they have no chunkiness to them, and they just bring light wherever you put them. And I usually use my finger with that, but I actually might try. So this is not what this is probably made for. This is Details by Tati. This is the Specialty 6. And I'm just going to take a little of that Whisper on the end of this brush here, if you can see that, and just go into this dark inner corner of my eye and just add some of that Whisper to it to bring some brightness to it. Like it. Okay, back with my finger for pat, pat, pat. If you want more concentration, you can see there, patting it in with your finger is going to get more color payoff than if you like lightly brush it on with a brush. You can also use a brush to pat it in if you have a flat brush, which I have somewhere here. Like here's an example of a flat brush that you could use the same way to just lay down some extra shimmer that way. I prefer my finger for that application. All right, so we got blush on, we got contour, eyeliner, eyeshadow. I didn't put up, I'll put this on top real quickly. Okay, just a little bit of the powder blush to reinforce the cream blush. Just a little, bring a little more life. That's better. Look at the difference there. That's pretty cool. Okay, I don't use highlighter every day, so I'm not going to do that today. Gosh, I'm a mess. All right, and then let's put this away, make some more room for myself so I quit hitting things. Still can't believe that shadow broke, and now I have to vacuum that up. Okay, let's do some brows. Do some brows here. Okay, so I'm going to go in with the lighter in this ABH powder brow palette. I'm already at 18 minutes. Drat, I was trying to keep it under 15, so that ain't gonna happen. Okay, here we go. And let's use the mirror. That might actually help me. Yeah, I cannot tell you how many times I've gotten off of a video and looked in the mirror and went, oh my word, these people must think she does not know what she's doing, and here she is on YouTube. I do kind of know what I'm doing a little bit, but yeah, you got to look at, especially when your eyes are 57, you've got to actually look in the mirror sometimes, not just the camera. Okay, there we go. I love how easy both the powder is, but this brush, please Tati, please make these in singles. I can never be without this ever again in my life. Please make it. So yes, this is the Details by Tati. I'm sorry. I think it's Essentials 7. I think it is from the Essentials pack. But I really need it as a single. I need to have it. I want to give it to everybody I know. Everyone in the world should have access to this brow pencil. I mean, this brow brush. Every single human who wants to do their brows should have the right to it. All right, there we go. One more swipe. All right, ta-da! Now, let's do some mascara, throw some lips on, and be done with it. That goes there. These all, I got all these brushes out, and I think I used one of them. That sounds like me. And okay, we're gonna do this lipstick, so have that. Do you hear things crashing? Yeah. Okay. Oh, I did get this out. Not gonna use those. All right. I try, believe it or not, I actually try to set up my desk based on the makeup I'm gonna do. I failed at that today. Forgive me. All right, so quick and easy here. Scrunch and hold. I'm at 21 minutes. Oh, I'll get better, I promise. Okay. And there we go. I'm going to use a brown mascara today. This is Thrive Cosmetics. And this is the shade Crystal. And here we go. It's a good dark brown. Just is a little softer than the black, but you still get, you know, you still get some good coverage and your lashes look like you have them, which I appreciate. Okay. Oh, there we go. So if you haven't noticed, if you've watched a couple of my videos, you probably have noticed maybe, my eyes change colors based on what I'm wearing. They're bluish green, so sometimes they look really blue, and sometimes they look really kind of muddy, and sometimes they look gray, and sometimes they look green. So you just go with it. Oh, it depends on what I'm wearing, and also the eyeshadow colors and liners that I use. So if I use a purple, it's gonna, ooh, oh, I got my eyeball. If I use a purple, it's gonna look more green. If I use brown, it's gonna look more blue. Just the way it is. Color theory. All right, let's see. How bad is it? All right, now, so I just looked in the mirror and I see that I have not set here. And the lines, they are, all the makeup is still settling. I probably put too many layers, to be fair. That happens. So we get out our handy dandy puff. We pull out, aha. So this again is the, oh, you know what I'm gonna use instead of the Catrice? I love this so much. This is the Carslin. It is a pressed powder. There we go. And it is in the shade, so it's Black Magnet Soft Focus Powder in Pink, 01 Pink. You can get this on Amazon. I think that's probably the only place you can get this. I love this. I cannot even tell you. It just sets and blurs, and it's not too much. So if you are looking for a pressed powder that you really like, this I cannot recommend highly enough. It's just really good. I hate the darkness, but you'll overlook it, right? You'll pretend it's beautiful. All right, there's that. Done. And one more thing. So I'm just gonna use the NARS, this NARS guy. This is too, I can't read that, sorry y'all. Okay, but this is the shade, to give you a sense of the shade. It's like a mauve. And I'm not even doing liner today. There we go. Emco Beauty setting spray. and it feels good. And it doesn't make me feel like I'm inhaling a cajillion chemicals. Oh, golly. Okay, throwing on the rings and necklace, and then that's it. All right, thanks y'all for joining me today. I appreciate it. 25 minutes, big fail on my part. Sorry about that, keeping you so long. But I hope I will do better tomorrow. That will be what we strive for. So we're shooting for 15 minutes. Okay, well, I'll do this off camera. So thanks, and remember, God loves you, and I certainly appreciate you so much. Bye-bye.